inconvenience, a bit of traffic, the roads become a little bit immotorable. Big deal. Few people get their property washed away, some filth washes down the road, end of story. That's what you think. Let me tell you a story. It was in June 2018. A doctor, a young lady who had spent a lifetime training to save lives and had been working for quite some time at 37 Military Hospital doing just that, suddenly disappeared after some rain. It was discovered that strong currents of rushing floodwaters had carried her saloon car into a drain in a suburb called Rasta, which is along the Tishi Bush Road, right here in Accra. It was some fishermen who found her body close to the Peshi Lagoon. I want you to listen to her husband, Bernard Kofi J. telling us what happened to his wife. Listen.
The car was floating all that time. The light in the car was on, but so at some point I got stuck and I returned. So beyond 500 meters, I didn't see what happened. But as at that moment, I didn't see my wife in the car, but the light in the car was on, and I returned back to this side. And that's when I went to the police station.
Imagine what he went through. Found his wife's car washed into a drain, lights on, wife missing. You picture it. Picture it for anyone you love. That's what a little bit of rain and a failure to plan can do. Now, you see, when I say a failure to plan, it's not even that. You can't even say there's no money. Listen to the Minister for Works and Housing, the former Minister for Works and Housing, Asenso Boakye, speaking just as recently as May 2022, telling us how government has secured funding of $200 million to address this same problem of flooding in Accra. Listen to him.
We know the problem. President Akufo-Addo, during his time, in the last 5 years, has invested $450 million in the construction of drains alone from the National Party. It was caused by the flooding situation in the Odoro. And as a result, government is working with the World Bank. Government secured funding of $200 million to implement certain interventions within the Odo basin. These interventions include expansion of covers and drains, widening and deepening of drains. It involves construction of detention ponds. I'm very confident that once that project is finished, it will solve the issue of flooding within the Odo channel.
But in spite of this, we are told just last night by the current Works and Housing Minister, Kojo Nkrumah, that we failed to plan for something that happens to us every blessed year since before the Republic of Ghana was formed. Listen.
When the rain started here in Accra, you start getting palpitations, because then you're wondering, knowing very well the inadequacy of the work that has been done so far as compared to the increasing pressure, there will be challenges. And then, you're trying to get an understanding of how severe the situation is, how much of the work we've done can contain it, and what needs to be done in the short to medium term. It is a challenge, and as I've said on a number of occasions, we are behind schedule on putting in place the kind of infrastructure that is required. But we're doing the best that we can.
So this is where we are. The question is why? Why are we here? Why are we here every year? Why is it that in spite of even being given money, if we ourselves can't prioritize it to do it ourselves with our own money, in spite of being given money for it over and over again, we are still announcing in the middle of the rainy season that we are not prepared for flooding? Why?
Well, we have never been prepared for flooding. This is not, a problem of this year. And, right after the BBC News, I shared with you, for instance, a presentation that was made in August 2021. In that presentation, the then Minister of Works and Housing, Francis Asensubachi, was very categorical about, the impact of the rains on the country Ghana. He went as far as indicating how much we had to spend and how we're going to spend more if we do not make funds available in that year. But that was not the most, surprising thing, because earlier he had written letters upon letters to Finance Minister at the time, Ken Ofori-Atta, requesting funds. Now, let me just read one of those letters to you. I'll read everything. This is a letter dated 2nd June 2022. Says, application for commencement certificate for the 2021 Emergency National Flood Control Program. I hope this letter finds you in good health and spirits. We refer to our letter, listen, Okojo, SCJR 7720701, dated 4th June 2021, and its attachment on the above subject. A copy is attached for ease of reference. In the letter referenced above, the Ministry of Works and Housing applied for the issuance of commencement certificate to commit the government of Ghana to the tune of 888,300,000 Ghana cedis for the implementation of the 2021 Emergency National Flood Control Program to address the serious flooding challenges being experienced across the country. At a presentation to Cabinet on the state of the country's drainage infrastructure on 5th August 2021, the ministry detailed the urgent need to embark on the 2021 and future national flood control programs to enhance the country's drainage infrastructure and improve our resilience to flooding, especially in the light of climate change impact exacerbating an already bad situation. Following this, we respectfully submitted a reminder letter dated 11th August 2021 and outlined the urgent need for the issue of commencement to ensure works were designed and implemented before the onset of the 2022 rainy season. A copy is attached for your reference. In the absence of commencement, the ministry has not been able to undertake much flood mitigation works ahead of the current rainy season, and unfortunately, that has reflected in widespread flooding across the country. Several areas in Accra experienced severe flooding. Okay, it talks between the 14th and 21st of May. But it says it is worth noting that my tour of the communities affected by the recent floods revealed that the areas benefited from construction of drains under the 2020 National Flood Control Program were spared the adverse effects of the floods. Lives, livelihoods, and properties were protected as a result, and the ministry is thankful for the investments the government has made. It is, however, evident that so much is required to mitigate flooding in our communities. In the light of the above, we respectfully apply for the issuance of the commencement certificate to commit the government of Ghana to the tune of 208,900,000 Ghana cedis. That is what for emergency flood control works, comprising emergency civil construction works, desilting, dredging of major drain channels, and waterways across the country. This is Francis Asensubachi. At the time, he was Works and Housing Minister in 2022. But he talks about the presentation he did to Cabinet, of which I have a copy here. And it's important, first of all, to talk about the core mandate of his ministry. And he talks about the fact that they must mitigate floods. But this is the other point. On page 5 of that PowerPoint, slide 5, it says, state of our drainage infrastructure, inadequate engineered drains, inadequate capacity of some drainage infrastructure, e.g. undersized culverts, uncontrolled settlement development leading to increased construction in waterways, and inadequate detention ponds and wetlands, and solid waste deposition in drains. So, I think we should make this available. Just look at what he was talking about. These are the drains he's talking about. So
let's see if we can share some of these on social media.
These are the drains that he's talking about. This is a cabinet document, so we'll just share, a cabinet document that we intercepted. So we'll just share the bits and pieces of it. But watch this. If you go to the concluding part of it, he talks about the fact that if we don't invest today, we may be found wanting tomorrow. He says we have to spend 5 billion. But anytime we delay in spending that amount of money, the amount increases. He says the estimated cost of fixing our drainage network increases. That's the estimated cost, $5 billion of fixing our drainage network increases with each year of underinvestment. The benefit of investing now far outweighs the cost. The value of assets at risk in Greater Accra region alone, 3.2 billion, could quadruple to 12.8 billion by 2050 if steps are not taken now to improve resilience. By extension, the total value of assets at risk across the country could run into tens of billions of Ghana cedis. But of course, and so in 2021, at the time where they were having this conversation, in the Greater Accra region, the length of drains that was being worked on, 6 kilometers. In Ashanti, Bono East, and Bono Ahafo regions, 8.7 kilometers. Western and Western North, 2.8 kilometers. Central region, 4.6 kilometers. Northern region, 1.0. And construction works to mitigate flooding. That's the target for 2022 to 2024. Greater Accra, in 2022, they're looking at 21.7, 2023, 23.5, 2024, 25. The question is, what's happened to all of these? So you see, when you talked about priorities, I have said consistently, and I just pulled this document to actually make a case. The sad aspect of our problem is that it is not as if we don't know.
And it's not even a money problem, Winston.
Oh.
It's not even a money problem. It's a priority problem. Because in that same time frame when we couldn't fund these things, look at the things we funded. All Africa Games. How much seed money did we send to the cathedral in that time frame?
And the cathedral in total were spent 339. At the time, if you look at how much that was, that probably was around over $50 million at that time. About $58 million.
Yes. So you have to think about it, that it is somebody who this thing keeps coming on his desk. He keeps looking at it and saying to himself, nope, not this
priority.
year. Not this year. Let's do All Africa Games instead. Nope, not this year. Let's buy V8s instead. Nope, not this year. Let's go and dig a hole in the center of Accra and call it a cathedral instead. Somebody is consistently making decisions not to solve this problem. And by the way, if you are listening to this and you are going like, MPP, please. When NDC was in power, what did they do? What did they do? How much money was pledged, promised? How much grant money was given, allocated to this? And we still have flooding. The worst disaster in our history happened in spite of the amount of international funding has come for us to solve this problem. This is not rocket science. It's not a unique problem to Ghana that someone must be born with a unique brain to solve. This problem has been solved everywhere else in the world. But whenever money comes, we have other things to do with it. Whenever there is money, we have other things to do with it. And now, there is no money. Let's be real. There is no money. We keep hearing about inflows. As in, flow in, no flow out. We can pay our bills. So at what point are we now going to find money to come and do this? That's why the minister is telling you truthfully that we are not prepared. Because once again, another year came along and our visionary leaders didn't allocate money for this. We know the problem. In many cases, there are people ready to even give us the money to solve the problem. But it is just not our priority.
Well, I'm not sure after all that you people have said, I can add anything meaningful to it. The difficulty in this republic is that nobody really cares because there's nobody loses anything because people died, because people lost their properties, because we lost a lot through the process. We will reduce it to partisan politics. So it becomes, oh, NDC has built two culverts, or MPP has actually extended and cleared gutters for two areas. So we are done with it. But we all know, and I cannot recall the last three or so ministers that have been in that particular ministry not complaining
Yeah.
about not getting the requisite amount of money to actually do what's required of them. To the extent that it reached a point where even saying that we've gone to borrow money, but it's we realizing or getting the money that's the problem, and that the Conti project has been subdivided into various phases so that we can tackle it phase by phase. This is way back into 2012. They say a very wise man has a definition for doing the same things and expecting different results, and that's what we do.
It's
When it's about
insanity. Call
when,
it
when,
what it is.
when it's about to rain, then we go and do a couple of dredging exercises. I see it happening at Domi. I see they are doing it. Yeah, they'll dredge and they put it by the not banks, but just at the
On the edge of the culvert.
yes,
So that the next
rain pushes it back into it, so that they can get the money to go and do it again. Because that's contracting. Let's not get it wrong. That's contracting.
Yeah.
I have read details of that particular report, the audit of the hydrological survey or whatever report. You saw the number of times they breached rules, they got things wrong. So even when we had dedicated money to doing things, we ended up doing the wrong things and we ended up compounding the problem. And they even built certain drains somewhere that they were supposed to build them when we had money to do some of the things we were supposed to do. But the cumulative effect is that when it rains, people suffer in this country. When it rains, it's not usual suffering, and it's not the kind of suffering that, oh yeah, there's a huge, how do you call it, typhoon or something somewhere. So it's the small avoidable things that take it by storm. So we are susceptible to things that people ordinarily would avoid or would not happen to other people, just because we are people who do not care at leadership, people who are not conscionable at leadership, people who rather look to procurement opportunities elsewhere than concentrate on the most important things that will bring livelihoods and protect lives of the people. Nobody's asking you to share money to them. Nobody's saying that, oh, give us money to go and buy this and that. They are saying the reason why you beg people for power, deliver on that mandate. That's all. Because in the Republic, the people beg. They've been begging since time immemorial. It's only in a part of that people beg you. Then now you have to beg them to do what they have to do. The guy begged for the job. And yet, when it comes to delivering on their mandate, their priorities are the things that will put money in their pockets and the pocket of their friends and the useless things first.
So
So we are mortgaged into a corner where we are unable to do anything. We can just and the people meet you and they say that, oh yeah, you people, you will talk, but nothing will happen. And we're happy telling ourselves that, yeah, you will talk, but nothing will happen. What kind of system is this?
I want to ask politicians a question. Why did you go there? Oko hoko ye den. What is it that made you decide that you wanted to lead this country? What was it? Because looking at how you've led the country, it wasn't us. We were not your reason for going there. So what was it? When you got up and decided that you are going to tour this country, sit in boats and be rowed to the most remote islands, isolated islands of this country to beg them to vote for you. You wanted them to vote for you so that you do what? Because this is not it. This is not it. If this, what we are living in right now, this complete neglect of our needs is what you had promised them, they would not have voted for you. So why did you go there? Why did you decide to go into politics? Why did you decide to become a leader? Okay, it's not our voices that matter, it's yours. This is your show. So we'll hear from you when we come back from these messages.
Now, we are all thrilled to offer convenient ways for you, our valued audience, now to enjoy our programs wherever you go. Exciting news, you can now listen and watch your favorite programs on Joy FM, Joy News, Joy Prime, Love FM, and Hits FM through our YouTube channels and all our major podcast streaming platforms. Stay updated with the latest news on myjoyonline.com website and the app. And follow us on Facebook, X, former Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for all your entertainment and informative stories.
Okay. Winston, your neighbor is on the line, Isaac James from Abokobi. Hi, Isaac. Good morning.
Good morning, KY. How are you?
God is in control, my boss.
Thank God. And my neighbor, your sister, Raymond.
Isaac James.
Yes, my neighbor.
Talk to us, my brother.
Yeah. In fact, I thank God that probably the majority leader have seen that if they don't do what the citizens want, we will wake up. And they shouldn't think that what he has said is going to maybe put us on hold. We are warming up. Because we want to own this country. You see, the money they collect from taxes, from oil, gold, diamond, it's not for them. That they use it anyhow. It's our money. We should tell them and they don't use the money for the things that we need in this country, but they use it. We are waking up. And when we wake up, Ghana must work. And we are going to start from every district. If you know you are a district assembly, you have education office, you have roads and highway office, you have urban roads office, and still there are things going wrong in your district, they will come as those that are supposed to do the work and they are not doing. We come after you, and we are not coming with guns or with machetes or with stones or with sticks. We are coming with our heads, intellect. We are uniting as Ghanaians to own this country and to make sure this country works, this country move forward. What the NDC MPP have done in the past is just a shamble. They have nothing to write home about. Look at this country, a country that we can boast of everything. Yet look at where we are, down the drain. No wonder Trump called us shithole country. God help us. But
Thank you, Isaac. All right, let's talk to Godwin in North Legon. Hi, Godwin. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Kojo. How are you?
Well, we're
Kojo,
okay.
for how long are we going to continue pleading on the conscience of politicians to do the right thing? For how long? Okay, it's about time we stop this and we look at the reasons why our politicians are misbehaving. Could you see? None of us when trust our enterprise to others for the same people to self-regulate themselves. But do you know that per the practice of our constitution, we actually enjoy to entrust the welfare, the affairs of this country and its resources to a group of people for the same people to self-regulate themselves. And we expect them to live up to expectations. No. See, this is what Thomas Sowell described what we are practicing. Thomas Sowell said, it is hard to imagine a more stupid and a more dangerous way of making a decision by putting those decisions in the hands of others who pays no price for wrongdoing. Okay? This is what we are practicing. And then we go to the Bible, we go to God and we pray, in the Bible, Proverbs 25 verse 5, the Lord told us what we should do. It says, remove wicked officials from the king's presence, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. The Lord didn't say, let the king rule. Calling on the president to fight corruption, I always say it's likened to calling on a pimp. to fight prostitution. See, what they are practicing is nonsense, and Ghanaians are much more educated than before. An educated society shouldn't be practicing this nonsense, Kojo. Shouldn't be practicing this nonsense. I'm surprised we are still holding on to this. We need to change this, reform the structure of our constitution, whereby the people entrusted to run the affairs of this country should not be masters to themselves. Let me tell you something. They're doing the right thing in life. It's not based on the knowledge of the right thing. Doing the right things in life is not based on the knowledge of the right thing. Doing the right things in life is based on the consequences of not doing the right thing. So therefore, you tell me, when we trust the affairs of this country and its resources to others, for the people to self-regulate themselves and expect them to live up to expectations, come on, please. We are much more educated than this. If this is down to years and 20 years ago, fine, I understand that. This is 21st century. Ghanaians are much more discerning. Let's stop practicing this nonsense.
Thank you, Godwin. Thank you. Wow, heartfelt. You can call us too, 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. Hello, Daniel. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Can you turn down the radio or walk away from it so that we don't get the feedback?
I was trying to listen to myself. So, could you, it's sad. Look, I live around the ACPS, specifically with Bokwasi relatives. And by 7:15, I was at a Franco barrier. I'm using the main road, the main Achimota road. I just got to New Plan. I'm driving to Tema for work.
Wow.
Yes, I'm just around New Plan. I'm at the New Plan traffic light. This is how bad. And look at, we are not thinking about productivity. The effect of this on productivity. I am working for somebody. So if I get there and I'm told that, look, you are fired because you have come back, you have not come to work early, what happens to me and my family? And these politicians find it very normal. They find it very normal. Because the irony of this whole thing is that every month you go to the ministries, find out how many of these ministers and their deputies and the chief directors travel outside this country for workshops and for conferences to go and study or understudy other countries and how they do things. And when they come back, what do they do with those reports? What do they do with those reports? We pay them per diem, they go, they fly first class, some of them economy, yes. And when they come back, what happens to the reports that they go, the things they go to study? What happens to them? So you go to Rwanda today, and slums have been converted into residential area, and we are living here in Ghana, and just at Chimota, here, it's taking me more than 2 hours, 3 hours to drive to Tema for work. I mean, what kind of country is this? I believe that this country needs a reset, okay? Look, whatever it will take. And I am not surprised that the likes of the Sanjomas are coming to tell us that they have disappointed us. And big time, they have let us down. Our elders have let us down. Never again in the history of this country should we allow any old man to come and rule this country. I think, no, it should not be. It should not be. Look, it is very sad, and I don't know, but I think it is about time we rise up as youth and defend ourselves and fight for our rights. These people have taken us for a ride for too long, and look, enough of this nonsense. Enough of it. Enough of this. I think that the anger in us, we are just taking things for granted in this country, and they should watch out. Sooner than later, we would pull and take what is our rightful, what is due us.
And this is somebody calmly sitting in a car in traffic. So imagine how the man on the street, the hungry man on the street feels. Daniel, thank you for calling us. Papa Ansa calls us from Latte. Papa, good morning. Oh.
Good morning, Okonfu.
How's Latte this morning?
How are you?
God is in control.
Thank God. And how is historian and Mr. Aqua?
You mean the ancestor and the troublemaker? They are fine.
They are all doing well. Country fine. Broke, country no broke. We all day inside.
Day inside.
But you know something? I always say that there is Bible quotations that says foolish Galatians. I'm not I'm not conversant with that particular verse. But you know, our politicians are wicked and useless. Someone will ask me, why am I saying that? You see, if you want power, you beg us, we give you the power. See, when we get a good leader, the leader can rule this nation for how many years that he wants. It's a simple thing. Look at the flooding situation that we are talking about. Every year, there is flooding. Why is there flooding? People are building along the riverside. People are building along the water area. Who are those who are building? It's not the poor man who is building it all. It's the politician and the big man in the society. They're building along the waterway. Look at how flooding that yesterday, the whole Accra. People car were stuck. You can't move. Yesterday, I drove from Latte to Accra just to watch how the flooding situation will be. East Legon, it was so-called East Legon. It was terrible. You see, it's hard time. Someone was saying it's hard time we have to vote out old people. Not old people. I mean, the young ones are doing worse things. The young ones. Come and see how. I know someone who was in opposition was driving a Golf. Now he's driving a Lexus, building houses. Because when you go to politics, you get money. So they would always, lie to us, and they will not ask you there. There are so many things that you have to talk about. But look at this one, you are talking about flooding, you are talking about politics. Why? Why? Taxes, port, why? God help us.
Papa, thank you for sharing. And that Bible verse you are talking about is Galatians chapter 3 verse 1. Oh, foolish Galatians, who has cast an evil spell on you? For the meaning of Jesus Christ's death was made as clear to you as if you had seen a picture of his death on the cross.
Interesting.
Yeah. George is in Tema. Hi, George. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning to you too.
Thanks for calling.
Great. Nice to hear your voice on the radio. Where is Lady Mama V?
Oh, Mama V is on leave. She'll be back soon.
Oh, you know that feminine voice that blends your voices on the radio.
Yeah.
Makes it wonderful. You know that?
Yeah, we miss her very much.
Myself too. You know what we do? Our leaders, they have taken us for granted for a very long time. And you know what I've realized? They have seen that the minority is educated among the majority that are uneducated. And so if the minority says, oh, we want to do this, and they say they will not allow it, we would just forget about them. We go through ice cream, yogurt, donut, pie onto them, 1 Ghana cedi, 2 Ghana cedi onto them, and they will pick it up and vote for us. And so we will continue to be in a mess. And it will be difficult for us to come out from the hole. In fact, the way NPP came, when they were coming, the way they have promised us that we should give them power. Nanado said, just push him. He went to Osu and picked 1 Ghana cedi. And he said, look at 1 Ghana cedi, it's too expensive. Now how much is a kinky? And they come and they give us a sweet words. They deceive the nation, the whole people, and we buy it, their plans and their policy. Thinking when we give them the power, they will come and change our fortunes in them. But they rather put, if I plant it into more holes, if I take the nation to the deep, and when you are looking for it, you can't see, you can't find it. Can you imagine the motorway that was made or was done with iron rods? Now you can see the iron rods appearing on the street, and we can't patch it. And you are talking about what flood. I mean, they give them the money for the job to be done, and they just hoard them. Look at the way Accra is so dirty. And Bola minister has so much money like that, and we can't hold him accountable. The president and his workers are not holding themselves accountable. How can they hold somebody? In fact, you are stealing, and I also steal. So can you talk about me? God bless you.
God bless you, George. Samuel is in North Tongue. Hi, Samuel.
Good morning, Kojo.
Good morning. How are the people of North Tongue this morning?
Everybody's fine.
We
Thank you.
God. Talk to us.
For this morning, I wouldn't think about politicians because Daniel is giving them that space to operate the way they are operating. If we are very serious, our politicians should be up to task and then they wouldn't be fooling as they are fooling today. Kojo, flooding in Accra, why are we here? Our drainage systems are not the best. Yes, we understand. But then, the Ghanaian, when it's just about raining, what we do, we pack our garbage and then dump them in the already packed drainages, and we expect the water to flow. Today, just fly over Accra and see what it is. We don't have greenery anymore. We've concretized all our floors. Instead of just giving walkways, paved walkways in our homes so that we can walk when there is rain, so that we will not walk in the mud. We've concretized all the floor in Accra. So what are we expecting? How would the earth absorb the water? So the runways for water is just free. And already cracked concrete, already soaked concrete drainages are there. So let me advise, let everybody crack their concrete in their home, convert them into gardens. Okay? Let's convert them into gardens. And let's see if floods will happen in Accra again. You get it? Our economy is today struggling. We are not gardening anymore. We want to buy everything foreign. Our taste for foreign goods are so high that we don't even want our own anymore. So now we use hard currency to get things for ourselves. This is why we are here today. Let the floors be cracked. Let the earth breathe. So that when the rain falls, the earth will absorb them. Then let's see the clouds will happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Samuel. Let's go to Koforidia. Hello, Thomas. Do we have Thomas on the line? Hello, Thomas. No, I think we've lost Thomas there. You can call us 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. And you know what we're talking about. What is it going to take to solve flooding in this country, in Accra? And of course, if you want to extend it to talk generally about how our nation is governed, we're happy to hear you. Daniel is in Ablekuma, at Ablekuma Fan Milk. Hi, Daniel. Good morning. Wow, Daniel, that's a very loud background there. Can you walk away from your radio? No? Okay. Daniel, please call us back if you can, okay? That line was not the best. We want to hear you clearly. That's Daniel Ablekuma Fan Milk. Chidiak is on the line from Southla. Hi, Chidiak. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Talk to us.
A hypocritical nation. What best do they want to see? When we all become ostriches, we are all refusing to see who vote the people into power, who are following them. Are they not the same Ghanaians? What do they expect? The vice president promised all the roads will be concrete. Where is the concrete? Who is asking any question? Everybody is quiet. When the dollar was 4 cedis, we said never, never. Today it's 15 cedis. We are quiet. Are we not hypocrites as a nation? What do we expect? Thank you.
Thank you. Richard is in Sunyani. Hi, Richard. Do we have Richard? No, we lost him. Okay, seems the lines are dropping a lot this morning. But please keep trying. Call us on 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. Hello, Maoli. Hi, Maoli.
Good morning.
Good morning, my boss. Where are you calling from? Fantastic. Talk to us, my brother.
Yeah, tell this issue of you not being considered in politics of Ghana or when we are making politics. It's just too much because look, those of us who are working, what we are legally entitled to cry is not being given to us. And sometimes going to work, you don't know how you are going to work. Sometimes you go to work, you will not work as you want to. Because, for instance, I am in the educational sector. I was transferred to a school last year. I was promoted. January, when I was transferred to different school, my salary reduced. Since January, I've been moving up and down. Still, the money is not being paid to me. Yet I come to work and teach every day. How do you expect me to work? Meanwhile, the politicians are enjoying allowances per them, everything. So, in fact, the situation in Ghana now, Charlie, it's not easy at all. So, our leaders, it's the high time they, need the right thing. And yes, things will go out of hand.
Yeah. Thank you, Maoli. Thank you very much. Richard is in Sunyani. Hi, Richard.
Yeah.
Good morning, my boss.
Yeah, good morning, boss. I want to contribute to the program.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, we've been talking about the politicians, our leaders are wicked, they are what not. Bro, when you blame the wind, windmill, you must blame the wind too. The politicians are the windmill, and we, the citizens, are the wind. So the windmill blows to the direction of the wind. What I mean is that the politicians, they look at our mindset and our attitude, and they are dancing to the tune of the music that we play for them. When we stop that kind of take this for that and take that for that, and we sit up, put ourselves well, the politician will respond to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. And I think we have Papa Bisu. Hi, Papa.
Hi. Ojam, how are you?
What a name. Ojampa.
No, not the Ojam that we know. Not the Ojam that we know, beg of you. I'm saying that I'm referring to Ojam because, Charlie, you are doing fantastically well for Ghana. I'm telling you. You and your group.
We thank
you. Monakwa, Wisinamwa, Charlie. You are really, really opening our eyes. You understand me? So keep it up, my brother. That's why I say, oh, jump.
I hear you.
But again, I need to even see you for a particular thing, about this diabetes something. I have some solution for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you.
I hear
telling you. So I will come over and then we'll discuss about it. Now, let's talk about this flooding something then, Someone was doing it for us for free. Is that not it? Under JM's regime. For free. That's JM's brother, Ibrahim Mahama. And the MPP in opposition, you heard the noise that they were making. Under the NDC regime, there was this constant disruption of gutters and things like that. Are you aware of that? The Works and Housing Ministry were in charge of that particular thing. Before then, Ibrahim came on board.
Yeah.
Now, the MPP in power, see what they are doing. With all the cash that was given to the sanitation ministry, what happened? Are you getting my point? So I believe that constant disruption of gutters, then educating our, our citizenry for, trying not to be putting, this refuse something on the gutters and things like that. But to be frank with you, Kojo, under this government, when you tell them to do A, they have reason to tell you that it's not possible. This impossibility under their regime, I beg of you, let's kick them out so that we can get a listening government. Then we restructure our country properly so that when we're talking under a democratic something now, we know indeed We are in a democratic country. But these people, dear, my brother, let's kick them out. Have a good day, my brother. Let's kick them out.
Thank you for calling, Papa Bisu. Let's go back to Kumasi. Hi, Kofi.
Hi, Kojos.
I knew it was you. How are you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Kojo, can
Yes,
you
sir.
imagine a president who tells us that any officer that comes into my government with the aim of amassing wealth, I will hand her or him over to the law enforcement and I will not shield anybody. Now, an officer in his government puts money in her room and the law catches her, and this same president comes out to say you will be exonerated, and true to his words, the law enforcement agencies exonerate that officer. Can you imagine? It tells you that Ghana is suffering because of our law enforcement agencies, including the judicial service. Some of our judges are there wearing wigs as if they are judges, but inwardly they are politicians who are there pursuing the wishes of the government of the day. And that has caused Ghana the problem that we are in right now. Until our judges realize that they are not working for the executives, but they are working as an independent judicial service, adjudicating the truth and nothing but the truth without fear or favor, we will continue to suffer, and the politicians will continue to loot our money and go scot-free. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you, Kofi. Eben is in the biggest constituency in Ghana, Kwabenya. Hi, Eben. Good morning.
Good morning, my brothers in the studio. Hope you guys also are doing well.
We are fantastic. Thanks for calling us, Eben. What's up?
Oh, okay. So I'm also doing well. You know something? Don't you think it's high time this current administration appoints what? A minister of common sense?
Why do you say so?
I'm serious. So, the way things are going in this country, we need a minister of common sense. Because see, from the look of things, they have all the knowledge. It's not working. So I think it's high time we appoint what? A common sense minister so that things will be all right in this country. You see, because look at what they promised us. We're in this country, and I think it's high time you do a throwback of what the president said. He promised us of what? Making Accra the beautiful city in Africa. Have you seen it? No. What we are seeing are TV here, TV there, TV everywhere. The woman that was appointed to make sure Accra will be the beautiful city in Africa, now what? He's having a lot of money under her bed. And it's sad. So I think throwback will help the president so that he will recollect of what he promised Ghanaians. He promised us what? 18 months he will change what? He will change Ghana. We haven't seen it. What we are seeing is just what? You see about $58 million in building a cathedral that we only see preach. But I believe when the president was what, promising God that he will build him a cathedral, you and I were not there. But what do you see? He's using our taxpayers' money in doing all these things. Mr. President, we are begging you. What legacy are you leaving behind? You are about 5 months to be called a former president. Are you okay with what you have left in Ghana? If Ghana is your company, will you handle it the way you are doing it now? Gone are the day they blame NDC, thinking you, President Akufo-Addo, have antidote for Ghana's problem. You came and things have escalated. We are begging you. Leave a good legacy. Good morning. Kudos to you in the studio too.
Thank you, Eben. Thanks for calling. I think we have time for one more caller. So let's go to Wager and talk to Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm very well. It's a pleasure to contribute to your program.
It's great to have you.
The first time I am calling in.
Wow. Welcome to the family.
Thank you. And for me, I think that the problem has to do with the kind of governance system, the democracy that we have. What gives our leaders the boldness such irresponsible towards our concerns. You have a problem, you call them, and the nature in which they will even respond to you, it breaks your heart. You begin to think, who does the power belong to? We gave you the power. So for me, I'm not really. I wish democracy was the best form of governance. I wish there was another means by which we could select our leaders, because obviously this kind of democracy is not producing the leadership that is required for the country. So I think the youth, we should begin to think and begin to come up with innovative means of selecting the best people for us. It is not producing. The leaders are not giving us solutions. So what do we do? Should we continue to go by this democracy thing that has been imposed on us and continue to produce leaders that will not solve our problems? Because as long as I know, flooding has become a routine and every year expected. Why should that be? The common, it's not even something that this is something other countries have done before. So if you cannot even think innovatively, just go and copy. Just look at the kind of the drainage system we have in this country. Open drainage system, rubbish everywhere. Even common collection of rubbish is something that is beyond our capability. What kind of system is this? Oh man, I think that, and for me, excuse me, I think that this is the political class do not see this as a warning. But for me, they would be the biggest losers if something should happen. Because the common man in the street would see any revolution as a means to reset. So they should rather, they own the biggest properties in the country, they ride the biggest cars. So it should rather be their major concern to make things better for us. Else, when something happens, they'll be the biggest losers. Good morning.
Good morning, Peter. Thank you very much for calling. Thanks to all of you who called us this morning from all over the country. This is why we do the show, so that your voice will have a platform on which it may be heard. We appreciate you all very, very much.